Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. Today, after the old day job, I am off to check out the new movie, Superman! Superman is directed by James Gunn and it's starring half of Hollywood. There's a lot of people in this movie. And the studio has also been really, hush-hush about the plot of this movie, so I really don't know a whole lot about this movie going into it, except that Superman is probably going to fight some bad guy, and Superman's probably going to save the day. Probably. I don't know, maybe this is leading up to something else. Maybe Superman's not going to save the day. But I can assure you, Superman's going to show up to fight some big baddie somewhere in this movie, and that's enough for me, to be perfectly honest. Superman has always been a really big part of my childhood. Going back to the 1978 film, my folks took me to go see that movie in theaters, and I have seen all of the old original Superman movies in theaters. I am a big fan of the franchise, and yes, I am a defender of number 3, not number 4. Yes, I saw it in the movie theater, but I still, no, there's no defending number 4. I'm sorry, there just isn't. But yes, the comic book collecting and all of that was always really centered around Superman for me. Superman's my father's favorite superhero. He's the person who got me involved into collecting comics in the first place. So very first comic book I ever bought was Superman. So I'm ecstatic to go see this movie. I'm really excited to see this movie, and not only am I doing a review of Superman, but stick around because after I do my full-length movie review of the film, I have the new exclusive AMC bucket. Popcorn bucket. And let me tell you guys, if you are a fan of Big Blue Boy Scout, you are gonna wanna stick around to check out this popcorn bucket. And I'm gonna tell you right now, okay, this is not just a popcorn bucket for people who are gonna be a big fan of the movie. In all honesty, I think it's a popcorn bucket that even people who are just Superman fans in general are gonna really enjoy. But you know what? It is enough of me sitting here jibber-jabbering on. It is time for me to get to the old day job, and then I'm off to check out Superman. Welcome back. Just getting home from Superman, and guys, I enjoyed this movie so much. This film took me back to the good old days of 1978, sitting there in the movie theater with my big old bucket of popcorn, sitting on my mom's lap, watching my superhero up on the big screen for the very first time. This movie blew my mind, in all complete honesty. So let's get this started, shall we? Now, normally I say negatives and positives, but I really personally have nothing negative to say about this movie. I will say I have some mixed feelings about some things that I think that some folks might not like, but in all honesty, guys, I really have nothing that I disliked at all in this movie. I really enjoyed this interpretation of the Superman story. Okay, so one thing I do want to make you completely aware of when it comes to this film is that this movie starts and it does not stop. This is one hell of a roller coaster ride from beginning to end. Now, there are moments in the film where we slow down just a little bit, catch our breaths, let the story develop a little bit, but mostly it's a superhero movie. It's a Superman movie. There's going to be lots of fights. There's going to be kaiju. There's going to be good guys, bad guys, all sorts of stuff going on in this film. And the movie does kind of feel a little bit on the bloated side. I could see where somebody who is not necessarily a fan or very familiar with the characters in this film being a bit confused because they throw a lot of stuff at you. They don't have a whole lot of explanation for some of the characters going in, I would say, for the normal people. But as the movie progresses, you learn learn a lot more about the characters in this film. Just at first, it could be a bit jarring. Like I said, this movie does not hold your hand, it starts from go. You know, in the trailer, okay, this is not a spoiler by any means because it's literally the first few seconds of the movie. Do you know in the trailer where it shows Superman fall from the sky with his ass whooped and then Krypto shows up to help him out? That is in the movie's first few moments. That is your introduction to this film. Boom! Superman is getting his ass kicked, and that's where we start. I thought that was so awesome. They do give you a little bit of a text beforehand that kind of brings you up to speed with Superman. If you're somebody who has been living on the planet Krypton for the last, 70, 80 years, and you don't know the origin story of Superman, they give you a little bit. They let you know he's a stranger from a strange land, landed in Kansas, was raised by Mom and Pa Kent, blah, 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 Smallville High, so on and so forth. I mean, for God's sakes, there has been TV shows, there has been movies, we know the origin of Superman. But I could understand that some people who are a bit more traditionalistic about things, they want their origin story. And I completely understand, I see where you're coming from. But for somebody like myself, who has literally grown up with the DC universe and these characters, I loved the fact that they did not give us this big, drawn-out explanation of who Superman is, what Krypton is, blah, blah, blah. They just put you right into the mix of this thing, and then they let you as the viewer just kind of pick up on what's going on. The vibe of this film, to me personally, made me think of being 12 years old again, walking down to the corner store and picking up a comic book off of the shelf. Picking it up, reading it, not knowing what happened beforehand or anything, just picking up a comic book, opening it up, and there you go. You're starting off, because that is exactly what this film does. The movie also throws a lot of characters at you. If you're someone who has a difficult time keeping things straight, yes, there is a lot of people to keep track of in this movie. Might as well be a Game of Thrones film. So if you're someone who has difficulty with stuff like that, just keep up with it, man, because the movie does do a good job of fleshing out these characters enough to where they're at least likable. Yes, there isn't like an ass ton of character development for a lot of the side characters that pop up in this, but at this point in the game, they really don't need a whole lot. But again, I can see where these are some things that some people might find a little bit annoying. But to be perfectly honest, for someone like myself who knows the DC universe fronts and backwards, at least up till about the year 2022, not 2022, I stopped officially collecting comic books when my daughter was really young. I think it was around 2002, 2003 or something like that. Let's just say when you have a pull bin and everything and you buy at least $30 worth of comic books a week. I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot right now, but the year was 2020, or 2000, I keep saying 20, 2002, 2003, so $30 a week was a reasonable amount of cash, and that did add up a lot, so I had to kind of give up on just having the weekly pulls and all. Every so often, I still pick up a graphic novel or something that I find interesting, but my days of hardcore comic book collecting are pretty well over, and the majority of the comic books that I read were Superman comics and DC comics. So it was so cool to see characters, especially, I would say a little bit more minor characters that the DC universe have never really brought out in front of people, and I really enjoyed that. We don't have Batman, we don't have Wonder Woman, we don't have The Flash. No, we've got Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, and Mr. Terrific in this one, and I thought that was cool. I love that they were bringing these characters in. But again, if you're someone who doesn't know a whole lot about the DC universe, it might be kind of annoying at first as these characters are just kind of showing up and introducing themselves. This film moves very fast, which is actually something that I'm going to move into the positives, because to be perfectly honest, I got nothing else to say here in this mixed area. So let's just get into those positives, shall we? The first thing I want to talk about is just the character Superman himself in this film. This is quite possibly my favorite interpretation of the character in media since the animated series. Now, I know some of you are probably sitting there going, what 1978, Christopher Reeves? Come on, that is freaking Superman. the character Superman, the way that he was written and all, the personality. I personally thought that the animated series really nailed that character, knocked it out of the ballpark. Until I saw this movie. This film understands Superman, understands what this character is all about. He did not get the nickname the Big Blue Boy Scout for nothing. At his core, he is a good person who will always do the right thing and will always make the best choices possible. And that character is 100% displayed in this film. This is not a brooding, dark version of Superman. This is my Superman. This is the Superman that I grew up with. The vibe of this film reminded me so much of going back and reading those Superman comic books from the 80s and 90s. They really understood, James Gunn really understood Superman of that time period. Bringing in some of the side characters also helped with that, especially Green Lantern. I liked him being in there, great character. Nathan Fillion did an excellent job. But so did our Superman. David Cornsweet did an outstanding job as Superman. What I loved so much about this is that he made the character his own. He wasn't trying to reinvent Christopher Reeve's performance. He wasn't trying to be Cavill. Henry Cavill. Sorry, my brain is going a mile a minute right now. He was trying to make his own version of Superman, but also pay homage to the Superman from the comic books. And he did an outstanding job with the character. And what is Superman without his Lex Luthor? Nicholas Hoult knocks it out of the freaking ballpark. I don't think I have enjoyed the performance of a Lex Luthor since Smallville, and of course Gene Hackman. He understood this character and played it to its T. Just the right amount of cheese, just the right amount of scene chewing, everything was on full display, and I absolutely loved Nicholas Hoult as this character. I'm hoping moving forward we get to see more of him as Lex Luthor as the DC universe evolves and we get more of these films. I can't get over how much I enjoyed this movie. Plot-wise, I'm not going to tell you a whole lot here. Go into this movie like I did. Don't know anything about it and just enjoy the roller coaster ride for what it is. The special effects in this movie are also outstanding. They put on display some of the best CGI I have seen in a long time. There were so many moments with figures that really shouldn't have been there, but for some, they really made them look amazing and solid. This was on level with Jurassic Park that I saw last month when it comes to the CGI, the creature design. In this case, I guess you would say ship design, some creature design, and things of that sort. It all looked amazingly tangible and real, like you could just reach out and grab this stuff. And I know a lot of you are probably wondering, what about crypto? You haven't brought up crypto yet. I don't want to talk about crypto because crypto is amazing and I just want you guys to enjoy crypto once you go see this movie. All in all, guys, I would have to say that this is one of the best interpretations I have seen of this character. The acting is on par. Everything about this film was taken seriously, but at the same time has a nice wholesomeness and just a nice good feel to this movie. This is a movie that brings hope. This is a character that brings hope, and that is exactly who Superman is. And his character, his greatness is on full display in this film. So that is honestly all I have for my review, to be perfectly honest. This is a lot of fun. This is a get out there, see this film on a great big screen, take in the amazing sound design. Also too, I forgot to mention the score. The musical score for this film, also outstanding. Absolutely loved it. It wasn't quite exactly the same as the original, but it also has a lot of elements of that score from the original Superman movies. It really worked for me. All in all, just an extremely solid, well-made film. Please, Mr. Gunn, keep this level of quality going to the future films that are coming out in this new franchise that we're getting. So there you have it, guys. That's my review. Oh, one last thing. I normally do the old wait till the end and all that stuff so I can get this fun gag of like I'm making my own after credit scene. Stick around. There's a mid-credit scene. Sorry about that. Haku, for some odd reason, decided that he wanted to just hit my camera. He never has done it before, so I thought it was a little out of character. But anyways, guys, stick around. There is a mid-credit scene, and of course there is an after-credit scene. That's a lot of fun. It doesn't necessarily, I would say, move this whole franchise forward, but it's definitely worth sticking around for. Alright, guys, so now the time has come to unveil the complete AMC only popcorn bucket. This popcorn bucket is only available at AMC theaters, and let me tell you guys, It's pretty freaking cool. So let's get it here. Let me move this out of the way because it's a big one. It's not super huge, but it's big enough. All right, so here we go. So when I was thinking about this, I thought, what would be the best thing that we could have for a Superman bucket? What would be really cool? And so my first thought was, of course, the Daily Planet globe. The top of the globe opens up, put popcorn inside. Wouldn't that be cool to have your own globe? But what would be neater than the globe from the Daily Planet? A freaking paper machine. Yes, this is a newspaper machine, and guess what? It is solid freaking metal. That's right. They did not throw any expenses off on this bad boy. This sucker is durable and well made. And also too, right here in the front, move this right there. Boom, comes down. There's your popcorn. Who's inside? It's Crypto. And you know what's also neat about this is, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to tear anything. Well, actually, it's really easy. What do you know? You can flip it around. There you go. Put it back up in there. And now it's a Crypto popcorn bucket. What up with that? This bad boy right here is $32.99, and I would say for the craftsmanship, the build of this is just a really solid, well-made. Nothing really on the back there, but as you can see, there's the sides here, have both the Daily Planet on there, really cool stuff. And then of course on the bottom is that official AMC branding. So you know that this is the official one. There we go. The light was shining on it. Oh, so anyways, guys, this bad boy right here will set you back $32.99 at your local AMC theaters, but you also get a large popcorn with that. The large popcorns, I think after tax, like around $13-ish or something like that. So, I mean, yeah, $20, $30 more, you can get this amazing, really well-made popcorn vessel. And I gotta say, I really like this. This is so cool. Up here at the top, you've got the Metropolis. I like this right here too. I don't think it's a working coin slot, but there's this little coin slot on here that's really neat. And then just this little flap here that holds it on. And then yes, open it up and there is your delicious, delicious buttery popcorn. But in all honesty, guys, this one seems more like a collector's item. I think this is more something that you're gonna wanna stick up on your shelf rather than something that you're gonna put buttery, salty popcorn inside of, you know. I'd be kind of difficult to kind of clean out if you ask me. This is definitely one that you want to stick up on the shelf and show off to all of your friends. And then, you know, you can flip it around. Maybe one day you want to be all Crypto, and then the next day you could be Superman. It's up to you, man. It's you know, be you, dude. Be you. But I also have one more thing to show off. This is not an AMC exclusive. This is just something you could pick up. I think it's anywhere, maybe at the major movie theaters, but it is the official cup. Now I think this bad boy was $29.99, somewhere in that range and all, and this one does come with a large drink. You don't have to put the drink in here. They give you a cup and everything like that, so you don't have to mess up your pristine, beautiful new cup. And this, you get a different topper too. I'm not sure what all the toppers are. My buddy gave me one with Crypto because they knew how much I absolutely loved Crypto. I've been talking about this since I found out the dog was going to be in the movie, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, this is just a fun little thing. So here on the back we have the Superman cape, and yeah, it's kind of rubbery and all, a little bit detachable here. In fact, the whole thing has got like a nice, I guess, I don't know if you can hear that. It's like a grippy kind of rubber feel to it. It's got a good, nice, solid feel to it. The cup itself feels like it's pretty well solid, pretty well made. But yes, this one right here, I do believe this is the one that you can find at pretty much any of the major movie theater locations. It's not AMC exclusive, unlike the paper machine. So yep, if you just want to get something like a collectible cup or anything like that, these are something else that you can find at your local movie theater. And then of course, let's show that one more time. Right there, look at that, that's so cool. Let's get a little closer, look at that. And the Daily Planet. Then we'll do a little turnaround right here. So on the sides, we have more of the Daily Planet right there. And then, of course, the bottom, where we have Superman and the AMC logo. So all in all, guys, I think this is a pretty cool little idea. I'm really getting into these popcorn buckets, to be perfectly honest. And I'm really running out of room back there. I'm gonna see if I can actually put this back here. Not quite enough room at the moment. It looks like I'm gonna have to do some work to find myself some space for this one. Well, there we have it, guys. That is both the movie review and the popcorn bucket, and with just a little bit of Haku involvement in all of this. So anyways, guys, thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.